SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, this is a really messy situation. Let me tell you guys, this Verizon Frontier deal has all types of twists and turns. Anyways, I want to discuss some of the more recent news in terms of this deal. And I want to start first with what Verizon and Frontier are doing kind of in terms of the process of getting this thing done. The first thing I wanted to mention is I found this news. Verizon is seeking West Virginia PSC approval to acquire Frontier. So this is something that, you know, it's technical. This is what you have to do when it comes to different types of utilities and different commissions. Verizon and Frontier are putting in the application for, the transfer of the assets from Frontier to Verizon, right? Verizon becomes the builder, owner, operator, manager of all those assets, right? So jointly, they filed that application with the West Virginia Public Service Commission for the acquisition. They're going to be doing this in all the impacted areas in terms of the transaction that requires this type of technical application. So that's one step in the right direction for the deal, right? There'll be more similar to this. Now, the second thing I want to discuss is the whole investor piece, the Frontier investor wanting more out of the deal. And this thing is obviously that's the bigger deal. That one's going to be messy. So Verizon agreed to pay a certain amount per share for Frontier. I think $38.50. I'm sure Verizon feels like that is a perfectly adequate number. They paid above what Frontier was trading at, right? So they probably felt good about that. Well, there are some larger investors over at Frontier that feel like this is not good enough and they should be getting more for it. Now, I went ahead and looked and sorted through some more of the news, and apparently there is a company known as Ziply, which is being purchased by Bell. All right, if you guys have heard of that Canadian operator, that deal is probably something that is contributing to this holdup with Frontier and the investors with this Verizon transaction. That deal is a very similar deal than what Verizon has going on with Frontier. And those investors at Frontier are seeing that deal and saying, well, they're getting more money for a very similar structured deal in terms of what they're getting in the form of assets and such. So they're saying we should be getting more for our assets, right? And that's probably where all this is coming from. The investors at Frontier are saying we should be getting more. Look at this Ziply and Bell deal. We're not just going to, fold. So what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a vote, and it's scheduled for November 13th, which is really just a week away, right? It's very, very close. And, these investors have been advised to hold off and not vote. And I think for the sake of negotiation tactics, putting pressure on Verizon to up the ante, there might be something there. But all indications is that Verizon is going to hold steady. They feel like they are the highest bidder for this asset in Frontier, and they've offered plenty for the transaction. I don't think Verizon's going to budge. And they've made it pretty public about it, actually, in days past in these news developments. So this is a messy situation, to say the least. This is not as clean and cut as I think maybe some people would have hoped for. I think Frontier, for what it's worth, wants to make the deal happen. I think Verizon obviously does as well. But the investor is looking for more, and I think it has something to do with that deal between Ziply and Bell and what that deal is kind of valued at. So these investors see their deal with Verizon as being an undervalue, and they're going to be looking for more. I just don't know if they're going to get it. And I don't think they're going to be happy with an outcome where they don't get this deal done. That's the problem. It looks like Verizon could potentially walk away. That is a version of this situation that could happen. Verizon walking away from it. They don't want to overpay. And I don't think they want to pay more than what they're offering now. But we'll see. I'll continue to track it. If anything changes, you guys know I got the video footage for you. Checking out the news and the updates, I'll be sure to provide them when they become available and made public. And we'll kind of take it all in, discuss it, and see what you guys have to say on it. Go ahead and drop me a line, though. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notifications icon. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.